So, welcome viewers, good afternoon, and welcome to Career Pathshala, a very special session with Kumar. And this session will be on machine learning life cycle. And we have with us Akshita, our student co-host. In the last few days of Career Pathshala, we have tried to cover few aspects on employability, and then we had a session on cybersecurity. Then yesterday we have Preeti on business intelligence. We have also a daily quiz, which is getting a very phenomenal response, and many students are giving a very quick and right answer. We urge students to keep participating in the quiz. We will also soon come up with an employability test for all the students, wherein we will try to judge your employability skills. Students who are an active part of this career Pathshala, and if they are passing out from 2021 or 2022, will get some good placement opportunities also, which will be supported by LNCT Group. So a warm welcome and a good afternoon to all viewers. सभी students को career पाठशाला की तरफ से बहुत बहुत नमस्कार, and hope you all are enjoying your stay at home and trying to learn something or the other. So today we have a very special one of my alumni, Kumar, who is working with Boston Consulting Group as a data scientist in AI ML DL professional. We'll be having a session on machine learning, and to be specific, machine learning life cycle. Welcome, Kumar, to the show of Career Pathshala. It was
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
it was a few years back on the other side, and now on the leading role. A huge difference from being a student to being a torchbearer, a path shower to so many students. We really thank you for the time and you took, and it was a very spontaneous response from Kumar to be a part of this career पाठशाला to guide the students वो कैसे इस जगह तक पहुंच सकते हैं. इंडस्ट्री बहुत चेंज हो रही है, the change is rapid, and how students can pace with the change. People like Kumar are always very supportive for the students कि वो कुछ नया करें. Akshita, I request you to welcome Kumar on behalf of the student fraternity.
Thank you, sir. A very good morning to all the viewers and a very warm welcome to our guest, Mr. Kumar Vishwesh, sir, data scientist at Boston Consulting Group. My name is Akshita Sharma and I'm from UVA LNCT. Machine learning is a method of data analysis that automates analytical model building and is proving to be technology of the present era. We're delighted to have you, sir, and it would be a great opportunity for the students to see their future job prospects in the same field of ML. We're happy and enthusiastic to hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So what I'll do here is first I'll set the context. I'll talk a little bit about AI, and then we'll go ahead with the questions. Whatever students are feeling to ask, they are free to ask any sort of questions, because this area is surrounded by a lot of assumptions. Most of the AI, what we have learned as a student, I'm saying, is from Hollywood movies. Like all those sci-fi things, all robots and all those supernatural activity which they project that can be done. So to start with, AI is nothing but a type of algorithm or a way of solving a problem where we try to mimic our human brain, like how a human work, or how like suppose if you get a situation where you have to do some sort of judgment, or it's not plain black and white, you're falling into a gray shade where you have to use your historical experience or something, or your experience in general, and then you come up with a proper solution, or then you give your judgment. So in those areas, if you see, we all know that computer is not capable of making decision. But here, if we write some sort of algorithm where we give lot of data to the computer, and then we also write an algorithm which can extract pattern out of uh, data which we had provided. Then our computer becomes self-sufficient to make decisions. This is the base of AI. That is and also we cannot write lot of rules for pattern recognition in if else condition, because we won't be able to do that. Because if I have to recognize the face of Anusar or a face of Akshita, then I cannot write a code for that, because right now he's facing the camera. After some time, he might look rightwards or left side, or he may shift a little bit back. Then, if I have to include all the possible conditions, then it's not practically possible to write. But if the pattern will be constant, it's a ratio of the overall frame. So if even if he goes backwards, this is how our human brain also works, right? We recognize a friend from a distance, like, okay, that guy is coming. So in the same manner, our algorithm also works. And yeah, so this is the basic. I think this topic would be surrounded by a lot of assumptions and a lot of questions. So it's feel free to ask any of the question. Then I'll go deeper in that, and then I'll try to connect content with the question, and then that will be more intuitive. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I
Akshit,
had a question on. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
yes, please.
So I did have a question about ML because
Mhm.
nowadays ML is a very prominent technology. So what makes it so important that it is being used in every field? What is the flexibility of this technology that it can be inserted and used in every field?
Yeah, the thing is, first is the amount of data. Like, we are generating hell amount of data. Like, if you see like if you see Facebook, or any social media platform, or any e-commerce website, then a lot of data is being generated. And to tame that data, or to extract useful information out of the data, it's not possible through if else condition. And the kind of personalized approach we have been seeing in these application, that is also the next level. Because if you go to your account of Facebook or YouTube, you'll get a recommended list of videos or posts according to your historical interaction with the app. Similarly, like for Facebook, Amazon, or for Flipkart and all, right? For all those e-commerce website, there also you'll see, like, based on your purchasing history, they are recommending, based on your search pattern, they are recommending, and they are very flexible. So this is an era of, like, if I talk about 5 years back, when I was very new to the industry, right? At that time, people were building application, a lot of user experience and all those things were happening. But now we are capable enough to do that. It doesn't require. The most important thing is we have a lot of things to reuse if we are building any application. But if you think about bringing intelligence to the app, that is still it's an ongoing process. So now this is an era of intelligent apps. Normal app and simple calculation and UI and rule based things will not attract a lot of customers. So that is the thing. This is an era of intelligent apps. So we have to bring intelligence to, and a lot of you must have heard about that cleaning instrument has come, right? That is using, you don't need a buy in your house. It has a computer vision which actually recognizes objects in your room, and then it goes through a proper path. It cleans your house. Then similarly, those kind of products are actually available in the market. Self-driving cars, Tesla has launched self-driving cars, not for the public, but for a beta version has been launched. So those kind of things, like how we see things, and we don't need security guards, will cut down their job also. Like main motto of AI is to cut down the job, but it's not in that case. It's the distribution is getting corrected. When computer was launched back in 1990, when I was not born, maybe Anush sir or someone might know. Then people were saying that it will take people's job. Nowadays, we are seeing that IT is the area which is generating most number of jobs. So in IT also, when data science came, then a lot of job cut happened, and a lot of manual testers and all those, we had seen those kind of news in various media, print media and electronic media, right? But also there is a projection that we need a lot of data scientists, and data scientists are paid very well, like in comparison to uh, other roles. So those kind of, that means there is a demand, and they are in need of quality people, and there is a roadmap or a vision where they need a lot of skilled data scientists, and they want to bring intelligence to the app. So that is the crux of it. Hope that answers.
Absolutely, sir. So I believe that it's the flexibility and the consumer-oriented
Mhm.
results that it
Yep.
gives. Another question was that, sir, as a student, which platform should we aim for, like learning ML and AI?
So this is very important topic, because once you search for AI or ML, right, you will get a lot of videos. Your mind will get jumbled up. And the thing is, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is like coming up with a course, and and it's a good time for those platforms which are providing courses. If you go to any private course providing website, right? So they have launched a lot of courses on AI/ML, and the new thing, deep learning, that has also become a buzzword. So then there is a thing that I have gone through many courses. I'll tell you, like no course is complete. You have to go through a lot of courses, and also AI is very dynamic. It's same like physics in 70s. A lot of people say that daily new things are coming up, and new way of well, there is a lot of threat to the society also. You must have heard about deep fake, where politicians video they take politicians video, and they look at the they do the lip reading, and then they dub it with some other content. So that kind of threat is also with the society. It is in that stage. It is growing, and but it is growing, but it is not a new concept. It was coined in 90s, 90, I think in 1960s or 50s, 60s, because it's a core statistical concept where we take sample, and then we uh, um, try to predict about the population. And also there are a lot of, and based on the historical data, we do functional approximation. Functional approximation means we look at a lot of data points, and based on that we create a function which generalizes all the previous data points. So that is the crux. So then other thing is like, if I have to talk about the sample and population stuff, do you guys know about exit polls, right? They talk to few people, and then the way they select those few people, right? Uh, they go to each, and they cover all section of the society, and by looking at the data, and they have overall population parameter, right? But the whole population, and they have suppose done survey of 1,000 people, right? So based on their survey, they try to project that data for the population. So that is also a part of statistical analysis. And the path I'll suggest, the basic thing you should do, take NCRT book, class 11, 12th. उसमें से like you have to read differential calculus, maximum minimum find करना, The second thing, vector and 3D geometry. Third thing, matrices and determinants. These are 11, 12 chapter. You must all you guys would be knowing about this. Statistics you need to read, linear programming that you need to read, and probability, Naive Bayes theorem, and all those, right? So those are the basics, and once you know that, right, then it will be very easy uh, to take up any path in AI. So class 11, 12 is the first step you should go. And I don't think it will take much time, because when the placement happens, right, we go back to a class 11, 12 for aptitude preparation, right, to just read these topics. And I'll tell you, one of the most popular algorithm, right, in machine learning is naive Bayes classifier. That is nothing but, if you know the 12th class ka naive Bayes theorem, right, it's same like that. Okay, and a lot of algorithms are based on distance, where we represent each point in n-dimensional space. That is nothing but vector and 3D geometry. Like, we calculate distance between these 2 points. So a lot of distance-based algorithms, a lot of probabilistic models, a lot of statistics. Stats ka, I'll tell you of a good thing, an interesting thing, like how people interpret. You guys must be knowing about mean, median, mode. So I'll just summarize, like, if you have 5 numbers, right? The most frequent one is mode, average is mean, and the middle one, if you sort it in an increasing order, right? Then middle one is median. Now a problem statement comes. Suppose in a room there are 10 professionals, okay? And the business wants to know what is the average salary of the professionals. Then you will take the average and you will tell them, right? And then if the business asks you, what is the salary of an average person, you will not take the mean, because who knows, the 10th person is Mukesh Ambani, then the average will be skewed. But the median, right? Median is the, you sorted it in increasing order, you pick up the middle one. So then the fancy way of defining mean and median is the salary of the average salary of the professional is mean, and the salary of the average person is median. Hope that is clear. So in that way, in that intuitive way, you have to deal with stats. So like that, starts with the school, and then I think most of the people, I was a 6 pointer in LNCT. So like for guys like us, it's good to pick up machine learning, because it's always easier to write on a blank paper. So then using that concept, and if you are not very good at, and I was from electronics background, so I didn't have coding experience and all. So all those students who are from mechanical, electronics, electrical, they have aptitude. Everyone has aptitude, but they will not lack on a point that they have not studied the computer science. So they will not lack in this, because they have to prepare mathematics, right? Jod ghata guna bhag, we Indians know, right? So then that is the crux. And if you have aptitude and whatever extracurricular activities you have done, you must have, there's a term called street smartness, right? If you try to portray that thing, then then that is sufficient. Then the person will judge you that, okay, this guy can do mathematics. So then that is the thing. And mathematics and coding is secondary. Most of the, like, if you go to coding, is what I see, like, from, like, if I see programming, right? So I don't give it much, very, like, I don't consider it very important, because in data science, it's all about the thought. Whether I translate that thought into using Hindi, English, Tamil, Malayalam, doesn't matter. The thought is very important. The same goes with, if your data structure algorithm is good, then syntax and all is not important. And same, and here, apart from data structure and algorithm, I think you should give more importance to scientific algorithms, we call it. That means mathematical algorithms, mathematics based. If you know the concept of distance, calculation of probability, the statistical inference, and all those, then then after that you can Google it for the syntax, and then main algorithm building is the main work. And it's not. One more point, last point I want to add is not like web development, where you develop an app and then again you have to there is a very less chance that you will go back to that module again, like if you have done it properly. But here it's an iterative process. It's same like a hello, is there any issue with the connection?
No, I think it's fine. We can
Hello,
hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Akshita, can you confirm?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
It's fine.
Yes.
Yes, sir, absolutely fine.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll go ahead. So what I was saying is it's an iterative process where the algorithm, whatever algorithm is there, whatever you have implemented, right? So there, the crux is you have a machine learning model, and then you expose data to it. It's same like you are a student, you go to college, you take a lot of courses, and then if there is a need, then you retrain yourself. Similarly, we retrain a model when the data changes or when the demand changes. We retrain the model, same as like you go for masters. So then that is the thing. Hope that is clear. Yeah.
Sure, I think there is no network issue. We can hear you very well. And
Mhm.
it's good that you brought the thought that you, being an electronic engineer, now becoming a data scientist is not something really rocket science, but it's all about going back to the basics, mathematics,
Yeah.
and your schooling. Just you cannot just run away with those terms of mathematics. It's good to be friend with them, and then they can help you to become something which the future needs. So Kumar, like आप इस फील्ड में हैं, and you know that there are so many applications which as AI ML in the industry are very relevant. So can you quote some few of them so that our viewers get excited about ki, this is what if it is happening and it's coming very soon in the future. So like you talked
Yeah.
about a robotic bike or a driverless
Yeah.
car or something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
a robotic placement officer also will be a very soon a reality. So so virtual learning and everything. So some exciting things. Maybe
Yeah.
a few examples, not going deeper, but just touching on few
Yeah.
examples so that the excitement uh, for the students of this new technology remains.
So what I'll do is I'll try to talk about some use cases, some applications which people are using day by day. Okay, on day-to-day basis they are using it, but they don't know like there is an AI which runs behind it. If you take your camera, right, there is a facial recognition software like which when you try to click a photo of in portrait mode or something, right? So then it recognizes the face of the person in the camera frame. That is an AI algorithm. Uh, uh, your Gmail, whenever any mail comes to your mailbox, whether it has to go to inbox or spam folder, there is a machine learning model deployed there. Any mail which comes to it, the content of the mail in encoded format, they don't read your message obviously, but that comes there to the algorithm, and then it predicts whether it has to go to inbox folder or spam folder. So it's a classical example of supervised learning where we have historical data. and based on historical data we train a model, and then model becomes capable of predicting the label or the class for the upcoming or the new data points. So same like in now Gmail also we see that Facebook recommender system, like it creates a matrix user item and item user and user matrix, and then it using that it finds out, okay, this person has to like this thing, or they recommend in that way based on your history. So it's just a friend sitting beside you who knows you, like, because there are a lot of things on Facebook and social media which our parents, they don't know. There are a lot of secret things, right? So that Facebook algorithm is your best friend. It knows everything about you, and based on that it is recommending. Similarly in Facebook, in Flipkart and Amazon, and also when you now give you one example of unsupervised learning also. Whenever you search for news, so now this has changed. Like 2 years back it was not there on Google. Now what they do, they cluster similar news articles together. One would be heading and similar news articles, so they go to the similar contents will be clubbed. If you search, go to news tab, and if you search for any news, right? So that is also a clustering algorithm where they don't have label. Based on the pattern in the news, they club it, so that when you go from result 1 to result 2, right, you'll see a different set of information, and similar articles are clubbed together. So that is also a classic example. And future is, so like only God knows. Like COVID we were not aware. So similarly, like maybe because of COVID, I think opportunities. I think like, because according to me, people are not very sure about the industry. But once this thing gets sorted out, the 1 year, like people are compromising a lot, right? So they will hire people in like in numbers, because this is also one of the way thing which we can predict, because machine learning is used for predictive purpose also, right? So it's used for predictive purpose. It's used for prescriptive analytics also, like where what are the things we need to do, and we can do a lot of forecasting thing also using this, like how economy will go ahead based on some parameters. So we do time series forecasting and all those. So there are a lot of applications and hi-fi things. So I think before I die, I can see driverless cars and all those things running, and all AI enabled security cameras. And I'll tell you one interesting thing. Have you? I don't know how many of you have heard about this. Amazon's no, there's a store they have created that is fully AI powered, where you don't need to go. Where you won't find any customer representative. But what will happen there? Like you go there, so based on computer vision, right, like a human recognizes a person, right? So similarly they will recognize you, they will attach you to then based on your pictures they will do some we call it face biometrics. So using that, they will map you to your account, and whatever items you are putting it in your cart, right? So they have recognized your cart also, they are tracking it, the items which you have kept in the cart, and the moment you go out, everything will be like your money will be deducted and you will do the checkout. That kind of thing has also happened. And also uh, like we had done a project for one of the airports in India, where we were doing like there are a lot of tasks which involves huge risk. Like you must have heard about the divers who go deep into the sea and they look for the rust on the boat. Like this is very risky task. And the people who climb on the tower and they look at all the equipments and all. So if you have a camera in a drone, right, then you can do the monitoring thing. You can count, you can check the quality of the equipment. You can it can be used for surveillance also, like and we used to detect the cracks on the airport track. To that also using we had trained that machine learning algorithm with the pictures of crack and non-crack. Okay, so based on that, it was recognizing, and there are a lot of applications like that. Surveillance also people have done. People have like it's there in like people are using it. It's like if you have a big warehouse, right? You can do inventory management. How many items are there? Automatically, when something gets stocked out, right? So automatically order will be placed. So those kind of things, and also in terms of judgment, like when a request comes or if you apply for a bank loan, right? So there is an algorithm which takes your data and based on it spits out a probability score, and then they call it credit risk score. So initially it was like, if you talk about like 10 years back, to it was totally rule based. Now based on the changing economic condition and also your current spending pattern, it has become dynamic, and there is an AI algorithm which determines the credit risk. So those kind of things are there. Yeah, so there are a lot of application. You whatever you have seen in Hollywood movies, right? That can be possible in 10, and that is an inspiration for us, right? How good we can be. Like fantasy, when it meets the current time, right? Then only it gives you an inspiration that can we do it? Then a question arises, right? So yeah, so that's all.
So probably we are following the Hollywood. So whatever they are seeing and forecasting, we are trying to bring it in the real time. So very interesting and very fascinating. And Kumar, like you touched upon the future, and definitely, I hope you were talking about the COVID and the pandemic thing. तो आपको क्या लगता है अगले 5 या 10 सालों में किस प्रकार की जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज, जो बच्चे आपको देख करके ये जान रहे हैं कि एक डेटा साइंटिस्ट या एआई एमएल में एक अच्छा कैरियर बनाया जा सकता है. So our career pathway is all about guiding students on various possible career aspiration, not just jobs. या आपका जॉब तो किसी भी कंपनी में लग सकता है, बट आप फ्यूचर में एक अच्छा कैरियर कहाँ बना सकते हैं. तो फ्यूचर आपको कैसा लगता है एम आई एम एल ए आई का, मशीन लर्निंग में एज अ डेटा साइंटिस्ट आप अपना कितना स्कोप है, और how you look at young students who would enter this field? Promising career है, कुछ थोड़े से चीजों का उनको ध्यान रखना चाहिए इस कैरियर में, या some points on
या
those?
तो इस पे अगर बोले तो अपन ये कह सकते हैं कि this is very dynamic. Okay, and if you have survived as a data scientist, right, then it's considered to be complex also, like if you compare with others, because a lot of mathematics, wherever if you see mathematics, right, things get like they get complicated most of the times. So most of the popular things like blockchain, that is based on all hash function and all those this data analytics and all, right, data science, machine learning, this is also based on mathematics. And the core algorithm developers, right, the people who develop games and all, they are also, like most of the people who develop games, they are very good in physics, because whenever they design like if a character in the game is throwing a ball, it has to follow a projectile motion, right? So that kind of thing, so wherever there is a math, you can succeed. And there are a lot of things in this which will be reused, even if government bans AI, right? Then you'll be considered as a good professional, because you have survived in a difficult area or in difficult scenario. So that is the worst case. So there is no loss in that case, because if you have survived as a data scientist, that means you are smart. And that is the thing. And the second thing is, like, if you have good aptitude, then you can adapt yourself. And in IT, I think in any technology, you have to be updated with the new libraries and all those. The same for the risk factor is similar to all the fields. And if I talk about the future prospect to that, as I earlier told, right, this is an era of intelligent apps. So we want to bring intelligence to the app, or to the to the websites and all those. So then I think opportunities are huge. And if you're good in mathematics, like you have a good financial motivation also. And the second thing is it's good for those people who are good in maths, because you'll stop at a point if you don't become strong in math. That is one point I want to highlight. uh, and yeah, so and because of COVID, I don't think like it has uh, COVID is very uncertain thing. We don't have historical data like to predict or to forecast this kind of scenario. So whatever is happening is very new to everyone. So then because of this, if economy goes like very down, right? So at that point, it will be loss for everyone, right? So then in that case, so we can't do anything. So that is the worst case scenario. Now talking about the good case scenario, right? So because of pandemic, it has created a space where there is a need of predictive model. There is a need of prescriptive model where you can do some quick actions. We can simulate these kind of scenarios because these are nothing but data points, right? The data points we can represent using number, and then using number we can have some prescriptive analysis. So those kind of things will come into picture. And yeah, it's I think COVID is just a halt. That's all. Once it is there, like you can if you're keeping track of stock market and all, so it has crossed 11,000. Nifty has crossed. So that means there is a thing, right? People are very and also I was reading one article on on money control that uh, this is like because of COVID, people are not spending much. They are not going for parties and all those. So they are saving in a way, and they have heard about someone losing job and all those. So they have realized the importance of savings and all. So this is also a good transformation in the society. And if you see the global point of view, right? So whenever IT is the thing where we get a foreign money, right? We have clients abroad, they give us money in dollars and pounds, right? And then if they have to cut down their workforce, right, they will start from there, because we because they will the point it reaches to us, it will be normalized. So it's nothing to worry about, and a lot of vaccines are in second phase of clinical trials. So we should be optimistic, we should do our job, and if we are good in mathematics we can jump to anything. And that's all. And life is dynamic, nobody knows the future apart from God. So that is the thing.
Sir, I could not,
Hello.
miss the fact that you mentioned COVID-19 right here. So, since you mentioned it, I would love to ask that can you suggest some relevant courses right now? Because there are a lot of sites offering, but what are the good ones and which ones should we aim
I'll
at?
not say any private names, okay? It's better to go to our Ministry of HRD, NPTEL website, where you have a lot of IIT professors teaching you about machine learning, and there is no cost involved. All is free. Before writing exam, you have to pay 1,500 rupees. That is the thing. And before exam, you can make a judgment, like whether you are prepared or not. And all those professors are highly skilled. And once you write that exam, right, you will be competing with current IITians. And if you score well in that, right, the people will give importance to that you have scored this. And there are other good content on the internet. You keep searching that based on the subscriber and the number of likes. I'll suggest go with the free content available. And if you are running behind certification, then do go with NPTEL, that is Ministry of HRD website, where you'll get certificate that will have weight. Like people will give importance to that website, because a lot of certificates are very easy to earn. Like there are a lot of websites where they don't take exam and all, right? So just for the knowledge, if you want to learn, then there are a lot of sources on YouTube. And it's a very generic thing, because I might like a course, the other student will not like it, right? So that kind of thing is that you follow and you start searching on the internet, and whichever channel you like, whichever blog you like, right? Start following that gradually. And for the basics, you have to go to class 11, 12 first. And the second thing, like if you want to test yourself where you stand, I think NPTEL, the Ministry of HRD website, that is the best platform to test your level.
So basic courses are the key, sir. So there was another question that how has ML technology brought about a revolution in the way e-commerce sector and of course the IT industry markets itself?
Yeah, so previously, like I told about Flipkart and all, right? The recommendation system, the hi-fi recommendation systems nowadays are in play, and they are actually controlling the website, and lot of offers which are getting generated. That is also that is also an output of AI algorithm, and the personalized approach, for you there will be like specific kind of, like they have, you can understand, like they have millions of customers, right? So for everyone to have a personalized approach and very dynamic, yesterday if you search for something, right, so that will be merged with your historical searches, and then a dynamic a response or recommendation will come out from them. So that kind of thing has also come into picture. And the optimization, like if you talk about the street also, right, the way they deliver, uh, like I don't know, I have learned this after my college. I'm not from computer science, but there's a traveler salesman problem, something like a traveler has to go and something like in which route he or she has to follow to cover the maximum thing, right? So that kind of thing people are using, and that is one of the part of one portion of AI, I can say, like optimization algorithms, right? Linear programming and all. So they're also mixing all those things. Then we can come up with a very good product, and that product can be used to redefine the marketplace. And now they are into play. They are actually helping the apps and all. So you must have seen, like if you have used Flipkart, like, or Amazon, few like nowadays their recommendation system is next level, and the kind of offer they generate, and yeah, that is next level. So you can definitely, as a consumer, as a user, you should see the lift in the performance. And if you can see that, then you have to run behind the reason what extra they had done. You will find a lot of blogs, and if you read that, then that will automatically generates the interest level in you. So that is the thing you have to explore. Actually, I cannot tell you like you have to study this thing. You can start with simple Google search, and if you are really interested, you would have done it. Like start with the Google search, like how to start machine learning with from scratch, and how apps are doing that. And if you're not doing Google search, right, and if you're searching the other thing, right, what happened to this in Bollywood and cricket and all those, then you are interested in that, right? The people, I have seen people who are like who have done PhD in football and cricket and all. So they have seen all IMDb ka top 100 movies they have finished in 1 month and all. So that kind of thing, if you track ML area with the same interest, right? So automatically, and once you get the content, right, one or two search result, right? So I can assure you, if you go through those search result, that will generate excitement level and interest level in you, because this is very exciting. Yeah.
So it's all about seeking the information and exploring your self-interest into this technology, and this fascinating technology को आप जितना explore करेंगे आप ये पाएंगे कि it is more deeper and it is more relevant. So now I think we are getting a lot of questions. इतने question तो किसी session में नहीं आए हैं. मुझे लगता है बच्चे बड़े smart हैं. Just to create impression, I am finding few viewers जो हर session में question पूछते हैं. चाहे तो वो भी गूगल करते हैं कि कुछ टॉप 10 क्वेश्चंस इन AIML, and they start putting it. But anyways, Hemant Soni is not very
Yeah.
frequent in asking these. So his question is on the screen. Nowadays, adaptive learning algorithm working as educational personalized tutor like Byju's. तो कुछ adaptive learning algorithm
Hmm.
Byju's use करता है, इस पे कुछ वो जानना चाहते हैं कि how this algorithm works, what is the backend process of this algorithm.
To adaptive, yeah, it's a very high level question. The thing is, there's a type of machine learning algorithm that we call a reinforcement learning. One is supervised learning, where we give historical data, and our model tries to extract pattern out of it and represent that into a function, y equal to fx. यही calculus वाला 12th वाला. So that, and then using that function we predict the outcome, and that outcome is we predict an outcome, and there is a ground truth also, right? That historical data mein we had seen. So then we calculate error. So one error is mean squared error, like your prediction minus current prediction, uska square करके ऐसा निकाल लिया. That is nothing but a function. You can plot y equal to x square function. It's in that format, right? Squared error. Then you take that function and calculate the minima of that using your class 12th NCERT ka knowledge. So that is the basic of any how we come up with a generalized function, right? So that is based on historical data. Now coming to adaptive learning, what happens, like you is same like a sportsman starts his career. Initially he'll play cricket. Suppose take cricket as an example. He starts playing, and then after some time he develops some skills. Okay, for this kind of bouncer I have to dodge it in a way, or I have to hit this kind of bowling in this way. So like using that, it develops the algorithm develops a knack like a sportsman, where and how it come to know, like the algorithm come to know uh, which thing to learn, right? Based on rewards and punishment. Like if you hit sixer on a particular delivery, right? And if you had hit the ball in a particular way, then you'll come to know, okay, if I deal this kind of bowling delivery in this way, I'll get a reward. And if you play a loose shot on a bowling delivery, you'll get out. So you using that thing, right? So adaptive learning is also one thing where we deploy a model which is capable of making these kind of pattern extraction, or you can say that functional approximation, where based on like in adaptive learning, what happens, like if you are learning and if you're failing on easy questions, right? So they will decrease the level of the content. If you have enrolled for IIT JEE preparation, and you are failing in class 11th ka pre-board, so then they will reduce that adaptive learning. So it's a personalized learning course for you by looking at your current performance and then adapting on that. So it seems like the cricket, right, or the journey of a sportsman. So it's adaptive. It adapts to the data. So reinforcement learning, to be precise.
Yes, there is lot of logic and there's lot of intelligence behind a simple screen thing which we observe. So एक मिस्टर संकेत हैं, वो पूछते हैं पाइथन या और आर, which one would you prefer for text analytics, या इन दोनों पे बेसिक है, कहाँ किसको यूज करना चाहिए?
If I talk about Python, both are equally good. But Python has like a lot of libraries in deep learning. Deep learning is a special kind of machine learning algorithms, which actually based on neural networks. So where we have neural networks, and uh, those all algorithms are based on neural network. Neural network is nothing but a network which tries to mimic our nervous system, where we have a lot of nerves connected to each other, and then like once we see anything, right, and then it goes to our optic nerve, and then now in our brain lot of neurons are interconnected, and finally we get we human comprehend, okay, I have seen this object or this person. So similarly, then that is deep learning. And talking about Python, but in deep learning you will get a lot of libraries in Python. In R also you'll get. So both are equally good. And Python is, I think, I find Python more it's easier for me. And once you start a new career path, right, or new technology or a new thing, uh, one very quick tip: you should get a lot of code to copy. Like if the community is not good, on Stack Overflow or on Google you are searching the problem and there is no solution, because it is a new thing. And you'll not get lot of solved questions, lot of
Akshita, you can hear me? I think so.
Yes, sir, I can.
So we have some network issue with Kumar. Probably he will join in fast. These
Yeah.
things do happen in an online class. So where network is also an important uh, asset or the need for running the class. So viewers, we are tomorrow having a very important session with a very senior director of Cognizant. He's going to tell you about learning, which has to be in it has to be a continuous way of learning, how you can grow an industry when you keep learning, and what are the basic challenges which comes. So tomorrow it will be more of a Q&A session, so we request all the audience to kindly join us and have a lot of questions for us. We'll hope that Kumar joins us back. These things, he's joining us back, yes, so not a problem. We once again welcome Kumar, and we understand there's always some glitch happening in and around. So we we
so
will
yeah.
continue. The question was on R and Python, and you really were very clear about how. So the students are still having concerns on difference between machine learning and deep learning. तो थोड़ा सा उनको
Yeah.
क्या डिफरेंस है ये? Sure.
Deep learning is a special kind of machine learning algorithm. That is to be very precise. Machine learning algorithms are based on the data we extract pattern, we or based on the historical data we train a model, and there are a lot of models like that, right? One is probabilistic model, distance based model, and dimensional space based, like where we calculate Euclidean distance and all. There's statistical model, and similarly we have one more kind of model, which is neural network based model. So that neural network based model is very popular because it has given accuracy like anything. Like it has outperformed like all the previous algorithm. It is way better than previous algorithm with huge amount of data. Uh, but yeah, that is neural to deep learning is nothing but a field of machine learning which deals with algorithms which are based on neural networks. So what is neural network? Neural network is nothing but a combination of a lot of functions, and in a layman term, I can say that it tries to mimic the human brain, where we have lot of neurons interconnected to each other, and then each neuron is extracting some pattern out of the data or information from the data, and then finally combining all those, not a linear combination, some fancy combination, okay, and then we are coming up to an out. Deep learning is a class of algorithms which is based on neural networks, and then neural networks you have to study.
Great. So we are almost towards the end of the Pathshala, but
Yeah.
definitely, friends, we have a lot of comments, but we don't want to go deep into the technology. We already had quite a basic guidance. Definitely, your any of the questions you can send out at careerpathshala2020 @gmail.com. We'll try to get them answered to Kumar. So, Kumar, this before we take one or two more questions, we would also like to know about you, how you, where did you do your schooling, your college life, and उस कॉलेज लाइफ में जैसे कि आप एक डेटा साइंटिस्ट हैं, तो यू नो द प्रिसीशन की 6 पॉइंटर मेंटेन करो, उससे ज्यादा की जरूरत नहीं है. सो यू मेंटेन द डेटा एंड हाउ वाज मतलब ऐसा लग रहा है अभी आपको देख के कि यू आर ऑलवेज अ साइंटिस्ट टाइप ऑफ अ पर्सन. सो लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स जो इस प्रकार के नहीं होंगे या वो आपके जैसा बनना चाहेंगे, तो वो जस्ट टेल अ ब्रीफ अबाउट योर स्टोरी, अबाउट हाउ यू डिड, what made you join company and then switching to this profile. So just a flashback of your journey till now.
Yeah. Yeah, Bhopal is a very important part of my life where I had done, I graduated from that city. I'm basically from Patna. I have done my schooling from Kendriya Vidyalaya. And then when I, in college life, like I used to score like, in first semester I scored 7.8. And after that 5 pointer, 6 pointer, like I was sailing through. Just before the placement, I got 6 pointers so that I could attend campus interview. Anu sir was TPO officer there, and then I went to like I was placed in Infosys.
So we are losing him.
Technologies, where I was. Hello.
Yes, yes, we lost you. You were placed in
My
Infosys.
audio is clear. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So you were placed in Infosys. I think we heard this.
Yeah. And after that, I was not enjoying much. Okay, then I thought like I should do something with the mathematics because as I told you, in college, I was not from computer science, so I was like a blank paper. You could write anything. It was easier to write on the blank paper. If you had not studied everything, then you can take fresh start at any point of your life, right? So then I took a fresh start, and then I thought like I should do good in mathematics. Then there was a role of like SL R&D where they had mathematics test. So I appeared for that, and then I started my journey with SL Innovation Lab. And then finally I worked for other 4 companies, and then finally after that I started working on machine learning. And there is a saying like uh, काम ही काम को आगे बढ़ाता है, right? The little step you take, right, the more there is a high probability, right, you'll follow the same direction because you had spent time on something, so you don't want to lose that, so you follow that path. So that is how it happened. And college
So
life
math,
so I'll tell you like
you were attracted to maths, and how did you learn maths? Like books लेके बैठ गए, online पढ़ा.
not मतलब उतना भी नहीं पढ़ा. मतलब I what I did, like I went to the basics 11th 12th, okay, and after completing those I was looking for the things like because if I try to compete on a technology which is well proven, right, I'll have to face a lot of competition. But if I plan for something very new, it is new for a 20 years experience guy also. And whoever is ahead of me in AI, right, he or she might have started AI in last 1 or 2 years. I was talking about, I'm talking about back in 2014, 15. Like at that time, if you see someone, right, who knows AI ML, so then you are sure, okay, he or she has started machine learning 1 or 2 years back. So it's easy to defeat or beat them, okay, in terms of technology. but if you plan to compete with a person who has 20 years of experience in any proven technology, then it's not practically possible to beat them in knowledge quotient in 1 or 2 years, right? So then I chose that field, and that was matching with my interest area, and then finally I moved ahead with that. So that was a strategical decision. And that's all. And then after that, back after 2017 and all, it became a buzzword, which was also like we didn't have control over that. It suddenly become like the hottest thing in the market.
तो आप you spot the tide and you try to be with the tide up, and this took you to the next level of your career. So very interesting experience sharing by Kumar, that the new technologies which are coming, maybe coming up with a new base like maths or something which is not there in industry for a long time. Technology is entering every phase of life. Who knows, there will be an AI for food, that okay, these type of food or this type of restaurants on AI based, that you enter, you the moment you step down on the restaurant, your weight will be calculated, your BMI index will be calculated, and the moment you step to the table, an automated menu based on your best for your body could be created. So anything and everything is possible. Applications are vast. बट एक बहुत अच्छी बात उन्होंने सिखाई कि मैं जैसा भी था, मैंने को लगा कि मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ, लाइफ में आया हूँ तो कुछ करूंगा, एंड समथिंग वाज नॉट अपीलिंग टू मी, तो मैंने एक सेल्फ इनिशिएटिव लिया. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू टेक सेल्फ इनिशिएटिव to something which was attracted. Universe then conspired about maths. He took to data scientist. तो वो सारी जर्नी को अगर फ्लैशबैक में देखते हैं हम, तो कहीं ना कहीं उनकी लाइफ में जो भी होता है वो इट्स ऑलवेज हैपनिंग फॉर गुड. सो दिस इज समथिंग विच एवरी स्टूडेंट शुड टेक इट, that आप कोई भी ब्रांच के कुछ भी हैं, you can always contribute. And today maybe Kumar working on data scientist in next 5-10 years could make a better career than people who were in computer science. So we have a lot of questions, but in the interest of time, we probably take this. Akshita, can you read this for Sakshi?
Yes, sir. So she asks, scope of ML in future is of course vast, but is it important to have the knowledge about it compulsory or other we can make out of technologies?
Yeah, so then to answer this question, the future of AI is fast. Like she's agreeing on that, and whatever Anu sir has said, right, restaurant and all. Thanks to COVID for that, I think the demand for that will increase because of COVID. And the other thing is like that you can see that, right, because these technologies were and these kind of ideas, right, they were like only for the POC development, only for presenting the research paper, or to just to present yourself as a fancy technological firm or something, or technological institute right now. But the thing is, like, because of COVID, it has become a need now. So then you'll see a lot of things like this. And the second part of her question is it important to have the knowledge about it compulsory, or we can make out? See, we should. It's important to have knowledge, otherwise you'll not be able to play around with the technology. That is the first thing. And it's not very clear with the wordings, but what I can think of, she's trying to ask what we can make out of the technologies. That means like what are the possible things which we can do. So the possibilities are immense. We had discussed it earlier in this session.
I think कहने का मतलब ये है कि मैं ML अलग से सीखूं, या मेरे को जो टेक्नोलॉजी जावा और ये सब आती है उससे मैं कुछ आगे जाके फिर ML ले सकती हूँ?
Actually, there is a very thin line. Language is not a technology. Java आता है अच्छा है, Python आता है अच्छा है, but you should know data structure algorithm or any kind of application like blockchain. और हमारे computer science में I have heard like there is a subject called computer networks. तो ऐसे ऐसे करके these are the technologies, and using that language, you translate that technology so that the computer can understand. So usme if you know Java, I think I'll not recommend Java for I'll recommend Python and or R for machine learning, because as I told, whenever you are learning machine learning, right, it's a new thing. You should have lot of resources on the internet. Then from where you will copy the code, right? You need a place. You should see some sample implementation. If you get some error, then in Java, if you search using a particular Java machine learning library, I was getting this error. So you'll get that community is not that big. So whenever you are trying to jump into a new technology, you should always consider the support system you have and the size of the community. And if I talk about the community, then Python and R, and these two are at the top in terms of community, and you'll get much support if you use this. And ML, though you'll have to study if you want to get into this. And for a college fresher, I think mathematics of 11th, 12th, and some basics. If you read 2-3 blogs on machine learning, that will be sufficient.
So Kumar, we are close to our timelines, and we thank you for being here. Before we finally quit, आपका एक closing remark for Career Pathshala for all the viewers जो भी pandemic में हैं at home and watching you, and will be coming back and watching you and probably following you on LinkedIn. आपका concluding message उन बच्चों के लिए, उन juniors के लिए, students के लिए, and your concluding remarks, Kumar.
I'll say one thing, जो भी मतलब students मेरी तरह मतलब अभी तक कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ा कॉलेज में, like those who are studious, they don't need anything. Those people who are not from computer science, who have not studied well, they have just survived. Okay, so it's an opportunity because if you have you had not studied, then I believe you had learned some street smartness or something or other you had learned. If you had not done that thing, so then only God can help you. But if you had not studied, you had done other things. Try to self-evaluate, like what are the things, soft skills, or what are the changes that has come in your personality. If you track those changes, right, you will create a very good resume, or you will create a very good way of presenting yourself, where you can say that, okay, I have done this thing in academics, but I have done this apart from academics, I have done these things. And using that, you can portray yourself and just have a go back to basics. And if you prepare well, use this pandemic time, and then the story will change after this. And this is the thing. This is for the students who have not studied anything till now. And yeah, that is it.
So Akshita, your vote of thanks, and we conclude.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much, Kumar, sir, for enlightening us, inspiring us towards this technology. We're obliged that you took time out of your busy schedule to acknowledge us, the students, and told us so much about it. I would also like to extend my sincere thanks on behalf of CII Bhopal chapter and of course the UVA team. I would like to extend my thanks towards them as well, and Dr. Anuj Garg sir for giving us the precious opportunity of interacting with you. Thank you, everybody.
So, but thank you, Kumar. And before we close our broadcast, all the viewers of Career Pathshala who want to join me as a co-host in the panel, please feel free to reach out to us at Career Pathshala 2020. We only need a stable internet connection, and we love to have students from across India. Career Pathshala is viewed from around 50 chapters of YI. Young Indians is a great opportunity of CI has brought for the Yuva of colleges, and please keep watching Career Pathshala. The next week schedule will very soon publish it on Tuesday or maybe on Wednesday, and we are trying to in the next league bring more of alumni in a very candid discussion of how they worked and succeeded in getting good jobs, good placements. Also, we are trying to fetch people from defense on around 15th of August. So how the career in defense could be made. So please keep writing to us what type of career guidance you want to bring in, and there will be few sessions also for non-technical, non-engineering background. But the today's session on machine learning gave a good insight to a lot of students. We have not got so many questions that show that machine learning and AI is something very hot among students, and they want to aspire like what Kumar is today. And but definitely Kumar will get a lot of LinkedIn and Facebook requests. Thank you, Kumar, for being here, for being at Career Pathshala, and on behalf of CII Young Indians and LNCT Bhopal, we really thank you for being coming in the show and guiding the students for making a career in AI and in machine learning. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.